Chaplain Dr. J. Nalini Selvaraj, our esteemed directors, Mr. S. Amritraj sir and Mrs. A. Merlin Jamima Amritraj, our respected Dean of Academics, Mr. M. Pravinay sir, our respected Principal, Dr. D.C. Julie Josephine ma'am, and our esteemed EDC head, Dr. S. Lekashri ma'am. We sincerely thank each of you for your constant guidance, encouragement, and unwavering support. A heartfelt and special welcome to our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Aditya Ganesh, founder and CEO of the Origin Chapter, whose inspiring entrepreneurship journey and valuable insights into startup funding and venture capital will undoubtedly motivate and empower our aspiring innovators. I also extend a warm welcome to all the respected faculty members, staff, student coordinators, office bearers, and my dear friends. Your enthusiastic presence makes this occasion truly memorable. Let us begin this auspicious occasion by seeking the blessing of the Almighty. I kindly request everyone to stand as I invite the prayer team to come forward and lead us in the prayer song followed by Bible reading and opening prayer.
Showers of mercy, this is the promise of love. There shall be seasons refreshing, sent from the Savior above. Showers of mercy, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops downwards of falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of mercy, graciously reviving again, over the hills and the valleys, sound of abundance of rain. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops round us of falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of mercy, send them upon us, O Lord. Grant to us now a refreshing, come and no one other world. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops round us of falling, but for the showers we plead.
Psalms 121. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot sleep. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade and your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forever. Amen.
Let us all pray. Our most gracious and heavenly Father, thank you for this day, Lord. This inauguration of entrepreneurship development center with wisdom, innovation, and success. And I place all the student coordinators and staff coordinators into your mighty hand, and I esteem the chief guest Aditya Ganesh, blessed with the strength to inspire and guide us to today's workshop. May this event ignite creativity, leadership, and entrepreneurial spirit in every participant. From the start till the end, you be the Alpha and Omega. Jesus most precious and ask this prayer.
Thank you. You may all be seated. A warm welcome sets the tone for every memorable event. I now invite the President of the Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Syed Muzakir, to deliver the welcome address and officially welcome our dignitaries and participants.
A very good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the Entrepreneurship Development inauguration and expo session on angel investment and VC funding opportunities. On behalf of the Entrepreneurship Development I extend my heartfelt welcome to our respected chairperson, Dr. J. Nalini Silvarajana, whose visionary leadership and constant encouragement continue to inspire us to innovate and excel. I want to welcome our estimated directors, Mr. S. Amitraj sir and Mr. A. Amitraj, Jimima Amitraj ma'am, for their unwavering support and commitment towards creating an environment that nurtures learning, creativity, and entrepreneurship. I extend a respectful welcome to our team, Mr. M. Praveen Mani sir, and our principal, Dr. D.C. Julie Josephine ma'am, for the valuable guidance and continued motivation that encourage students to achieve greater heights. I also extend my sincere welcome to our respected EDC head, Dr. S. Lekashri ma'am, and IAC head, Srinivasan sir, whose dedication and encouragement have played a significant role in making today's event reality. A very warm and special welcome.
So, a very warm and special welcome to our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Aditya Ganesh. The Origin chapter and consulting investment of Tamil Nadu Technology Hub. Sir, we are truly honored by your presence. We energetically look forward to learning from your valuable experience and insights on startup funding, angel investments, and venture capital, which we believe will inspire every aspiring entrepreneurs gathered here. I also extend a warm welcome to all our respected faculty members, staff, student coordinators, newly appointed members, volunteers, and my dear friends. Your energetic presence has made this session even more meaningful. Today marks the beginning of the new chapter in our institution journey of innovation and entrepreneurship. I sincerely hope that this entrepreneurship development cell will empower every student to transform ideas into impactful ventures and become future job creators rather than job seekers. Once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to everyone. Thank you for being a part of this memorable session. Thank you and wish you all meaningful and inspiring session.
Thank you for your warm and insightful welcome. A mentor lights the path that transforms dreams into achievement. It is now my proud privilege to introduce our esteemed chief guest once again, Mr. Aditya Ganesh, the founder and CEO of the Origin Chapter startup ecosystem that has empowered over 500 startups. He also serves as a consultant investments at the Tamil Nadu Technology Hub, supporting startups through investment and innovation. Today, he will share his insights on angel investment and venture capital funding opportunities for early stage entrepreneurs. We are truly honored to have you with us, sir. May I now request our Principal, Ma'am Dr. D.C. Julie Josephine, Ma'am, and Dr. D.C. Julie Josephine, Ma'am, to felicitate our guest with the memento, followed by Dr. Senthil Shah, Head of the Research Department, to present a token of gratitude and respect. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and being with us today. Every successful event is the result of careful planning and dedicated teamwork. I now invite Dr. Lekha Sri Ma'am, the organizer of today's event and the head of the Entrepreneurship Development Cell, to address the gathering. Good morning, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our esteemed guests, faculty members, dear students, and all the participants to today's Entrepreneurship Development Cell's guest lecture on angel investment and ventures capital funding opportunities. Entrepreneurship is not merely about starting a business, it's about identifying opportunities, solving real world problems, creating value, and contributing to society through innovation. Every successful startup begins with an idea, but transforming that into a successful enterprise requires the right guidance, resources, and most importantly, access to funding. Today's session focuses on one of the most significant aspects of the startup ecosystem, angel investment and venture capital funding. Understanding how investors evaluate business ideas, what they expect from entrepreneurs, and how startups can secure funding is essential for every aspiring entrepreneur. This session will provide valuable insights into funding journey, investor expectations, pitching strategies, and the opportunities available for innovation startups. On behalf of our institution and Entrepreneurship Development Cell, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our distinguished resource person, Mr. Aditya Ganesh. We are honored by your presence and grateful for your willingness to share your expertise and experiences with our students. We are confident that your insights will inspire our young innovators to think beyond conventional career paths and embrace entrepreneurship with confidence. I would also like to introduce the dedicated team behind the successful functioning of our Entrepreneurship Development Cell. Our faculty coordinators are Dr. Anthony Sir, Mechanical and RAA Department, Mrs. P.C. Vidya Ma'am from CSE Department, Mrs. Saundravali Ma'am from AIDS Department, Ms. Divya Bharati Ma'am from IT Department, Mrs. Sasirekha Ma'am from EC Department, Ms. Sangeeta Priya Ma'am from AIML. Their continuous guidance, encouragement, and commitment have played a vital role in organizing EDC activities and nurturing entrepreneurial talent among our students. Now I am pleased to introduce our student coordinators, a president of Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Master Syed Muzakir SH of Mechanical Department, Judy Cheryl Mahima, Vice President of IT Department, Vidya Sahadi, Secretary of RAA Department, Vedavali V, Joint Secretary, BME Department, Vasanta Kumar M, Innovation and Startup Coordinator of EC Department, Madana I, Event Coordinator of BME Department, Balamurugan J, Treasurer of EC Department, Bhuvanesh N, Documentation Coordinator of CSE Department, Rakishore G, Membership Coordinator of AIDS Department, Dwarakish T, Research and Project Coordinator of AIML, Jashan R of CSE Department, Social Media and Digital Marketing Coordinator. Their enthusiasm, teamwork, and dedication have been instrumental in organizing today's program successfully. Let us appreciate their efforts with a big round of applause.
Dear students, I encourage each one of you to actively participate in today's session. Listen carefully, ask questions, interact with the expert, and make the most of this opportunity. The knowledge you gain today may become the foundation of your future startup journey. Once again, I extend my sincere thanks to our respected management, principal, faculty members in the organizing team, and all the participants for making this event possible. Thank you all. I think you all had your breakfast today, right? Huh? சாப்பிட்டீங்க தானே அப்புறம் எப்படி ஏத்திட்டு இருக்கீங்க? You keep quiet. Mr. Boys, give a grand applause. Girls.
Thank you for sharing the wishes and purpose behind today's event, ma'am. Before we proceed with the inauguration, let us take a brief look at the vision and mission of Entrepreneurship Development Cell through a promotional video. May I request everyone to kindly direct your attention to the screen. Sorry, the video will be played at the end of the event. Today marks a significant milestone as we officially inaugurate the Entrepreneurship Development Cell. May I request our respected dignitaries and our chief guest to kindly inaugurate the Entrepreneurship Development Cell. Following the inauguration, we will now introduce the student office bearers of the Entrepreneurship Development Cell. May I respectfully request our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Aditya Ganesh, sir, to kindly present the badges to the newly appointed EDC student office bearers. I request the office bearers to come forward as I call your name. The President of Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Master Syed Muzakir. Vice President, Ms. Judy Sheldon Mahima. Secretary Vidya Sagar. Joint Secretary Vedavalli. Innovation and Startup Coordinator, Master Vasant Kumar. Event Coordinator, Madanna. Treasurer, Master Balamurga. Documentation Coordinator, Bhuvanesh. Membership Coordinator, Raj Kishore. Research and Project Coordinator, Dwarakesh. Social Media and Digital Marketing Coordinator, Jason.
Clearance, you can stand. Stand. Stand up. You can stand.
Congratulations to all the newly appointed office bearers. We wish you a successful, innovative, and impactful tenure as you lead the entrepreneurship development cell to greater heights. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause once again. And I now request everyone to arise as the dignitaries leave the stage.
ஸ்டாப் பண்ணுங்க இந்த போட்டோ மாதிரி ஏதாவது வச்சிருக்கலாம்ல அது ஆப்ல கனெக்ட் பண்ணணும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பண்ண வேண்டியது
Please be seated.
The most awaiting part of today's program is the expert session. Without further delay, I feel privileged to hand over this section to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Aditya Ganesh, who will enlighten us with his valuable insights on entrepreneurship, startup, innovation, and building successful ventures. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Hi everyone. A lot of you were confused when I walked in that who is this child coming to teach. So it's fine. I'm still a kid. But maybe somebody who started earlier and made something substantial to be here. So what I'll be doing now is I'll be teaching you about how to create substance that makes you get into rooms where your age doesn't matter, your knowledge is not something to be questioned, and more than anything, you are the change maker. So we'll start with trying to understand if venture capital and angel investments is something that you should be looking into. I am here to tell you about the different types of, investors, different types of venture capitals. But more importantly, I'm here to inspire you to understand if that is something that you're ready to do or not. So what is angel investment and what is venture capital? But before that, the major question is, is this something that you should consider at this particular stage of your journey? So before we start, just wanted to understand how many in this room are startup owners? Raise your hand if you're a startup owner. Fantastic. Anyone else who are startup owners? No worries. How many of you aspire to be a startup owner? Raise your hands higher. If you're an entrepreneur, you're shooting for the stars. Not here. Here. Exactly. See, now this is where things begin. If you want to build a startup, then angel investment and venture capital is something that comes as a stage 2 of what you're building. So the question here is, why should you, where and why should somebody start considering to build a startup? Let's start with that. We'll enter back into what is angel investment, what is venture capital. When should somebody start a venture, a startup? Somebody must start a startup when, one, they are hungry to create a change. 2, they have an idea that they truly believe can disrupt the world. And 3, they have the courage to go through the tough times, courage to go through the boring times, and the innate wisdom to question everything. This is where it all begins, right? So let's understand what is angel investment and what is venture capital, right? So what is an angel investor and what is angel investment? Angel investor is somebody who ideally wants to invest in you when you just have simply just an idea. The world can doubt what you're building, but that one individual is ready to put their money into you to make sure that your idea becomes a full-fledged startup. So the question here is that why are they putting money into something that has, is just simply an idea? What is the return for somebody? Why should somebody put money? So these are frameworks of understanding how does an investor evaluate you and your idea to put their investment. So we will come into that later. So that is what an angel investor is. So what is a venture capital and how is it different from an angel investment, right? An angel investor does an investment as an individual. A venture capital does it as a company, as a firm. And in what happens in a company is there are multiple different kinds of employees and people in the structure and the hierarchy of the company. So largely what happens is that you end up going to and you meet the bottommost individual. If you please the bottommost individual, it goes to the next higher individual. It goes to the next higher until you come to the decision maker who gives you the investment. But why do people go to a venture capital in the first place if there's so much friction, so many different levels? That is because in a venture capital, if your investment amount is high, in crores and crores, an individual cannot give it. An angel investor simply cannot give that amount. So that is where venture capital comes in. So this is a fundamental difference between the two. Now let's just dive into the session, right? So why does this topic matter? Primarily because today, anybody who's dreaming of creating a startup, the biggest issue is that they simply have not considered the monetary factor of building a startup. In a startup building journey, you need to understand the finances that go behind it, right? These are soft skills that people do not teach you. You have to go out of your way to learn that this is how it works. These are the different types of taxes involved. These are the different type of stakeholders involved. This is what amount does. And more than anything, a first-time investment, somebody who's raising an investment for the first time, fumble when they're asked how much amount do you need. So this is an exercise that we will come across even after this, right? We'll play a little game on this, so stay tuned for that, right? Amounts usually go from 50 lakhs and onwards when you're raising an investment round from an angel investor. That's almost a bare minimum. But the question is 50 lakhs. To a student mind, that is a huge amount. Imagine if I tell you that the average size of investments is 5 crore and above. Now you're thinking, that's so many 1 lakhs together. And how do I use that? I cannot buy more than 100 rupees for a basic lunch meal. Then how am I going to imagine the scale of 1 crore, 5 crores, and even more crores? So this is what we need to understand, how to break down the amount one by one, right? So just moving on to where does funding fit in your journey? See, funding is something that again is a stage 2. Stage 1 is have an idea. Stage 2 is then consider getting an investment. So if you look at this idea, then you first build it on the idea, you make something called a basic prototype where you have something to present to an investor, tell them that hey, I have something ready, give it a look. And if they're impressed, they might consider it. This is where you have, these are the stages where you show them that I have early users, I have something to show that my prototype is working, or it's something that people actually care about, right? See, what happens is in an angel investment round, when you're going to somebody and asking them that I need this much amount, 50 lakhs to 1 crore or even more, the first question they have is that, have you proven your solution is right or wrong, right? That's a very good question. So this is where you have to show them that, yes, I have, let's say, XYZ app. In this particular app, I have 50 plus people who are using my app. The retention rate, that is the amount of people who are staying in my app for this many days before they pop up the app, is very high, more than 60-70%. Everybody loves it. People are staying for 3 months before they consider leaving the app. That means I'm keeping them in my funnel of usage for so long. These are the jargons that usually people come across. So what are the different jargons that you have to tell to an investor when you're trying to tell them that, hey, I have users, I have basic traction. Traction is what is the formal word of having some movement in your product, having somebody who's considering your product. So what are the different types of traction? Traction is usually when an individual tells the investor that, hey, I have people who are paying me. Paying customers are one of the biggest indicators of success, the success metrics. 2 is, I have something called a purchase order. That is, an individual who's, let's say a company comes to you and say that, hey, I like your product. I really like what you're building. Can I, when it's completely built, can I take, let's say, can I use your product? And they will give you a formal letter saying that when it is built, I'm your first user, or I'm going to use it. So they give you a commitment before the time. That also adds as another traction point. 3 would be that institutions or other big other players in the market like yourself who are related to you have started noticing you, reaching out to you and talking with you about potential collaborations, potential working together, and different types of joint opportunities. So these are all opportunities worth looking into. This is what traction is. Now, after this comes your angel stage. Now remember guys, angel investment is an amount where, this is a stage where you get only a very little amount. It's anywhere from 50 lakhs to maybe 2 crores at max. But anything above that, you have to go to a VC. Or you can have many angel investors coming together. That is another option. So VC stage is where you have 2 crores, 3 crores and above, right? This is how it usually moves. Now coming to different types of startup fundings that happen, right? One is bootstrapping. any of you can just like explain in your words, or anybody over here understands what bootstrapping is? Uh, any aspiring entrepreneur, do you understand what bootstrapping as a word means? Okay. Bootstrapping is basically a word that indicates that you have not approached any investor. Instead, you yourself are considering to put your own money to take it somewhere. That is called self-funding in a way, right? Bootstrapping or self-funding, you don't need to go to any investor. That is one type of funding. Second type is angel investment. As we mentioned, an angel investor, 50 lakhs to 2 crores is usually the range. This is where they give you some amount of money. Very little equity is diluted. Now, question is, what is this equity that I just mentioned? Anybody here who knows what equity is? Can you just enlighten us?
So it's a kind of shares or company shares.
Company shares? That's a very good way to put it. Let's imagine that. Let's imagine there's a pizza. Just for lack of better reference, in pizzas there are 6 slices, right? Let's assume that. Of which, let's say the pizza is 100%. And of the 6 slices, let's say that each individual slice is a percentage of your company. So pizza is your company, slices of which is basically the fractions at which you are willing to keep it as for reference. When an angel investor comes, he'll say that I will give you investment, but I would like to get some equity. Equity, the word equity means equal, by the way. The derivation of the word means equal. So in equity standards, what it means is I want to be an equal owner of your company. That is why the word equity came into play. And when equity happens, you are taking some part of the company. So that's why out of in the pizza of 6 slices, they're taking 1 slice. How much ever that you're allocating the slice to be, it doesn't have to be a very big one, it can be a small one also. Depends. The usual range here is anywhere from 5 to 15% for angel investments. Okay, so angel investments, 5 to 15% of your company is usually given as investment, as for the investment. In a venture capital, usually what happens is you give off anywhere from 10 to 25% of the company as well. Higher the amount of investment, higher the equity is given, higher the company's share is given out. A part of it is given. Now, remember, as aspiring entrepreneurs here, a lot of you are worried about why should I give more equity? Is there a way I can not give equity? There are many ways to also raise money without giving equity. Number one, you can get money on the base of revenue. For example, if you are a company who is making, let's say, just for easier numbers, let's say you're making 100 rupees, right? 100 rupees is a good amount, let's say, in the world of investments. What the investor is asking is, how much do you need? You say that I'm taking 100, I want your investment. Based using your investment amount, I can make 1,000. That's a 10x jump. And then the investor says, what? Okay, then you give me 10% of your company. You're like, no, I have given so many percentages of shares of my company to so many different people. I don't want to give it anymore. So what I can do an arrangement with you is revenue-based investment. Revenue-based investment is where an individual asks the investor that I want to, on the basis of my revenue, you can understand I'm a steady company, which is why I request that you give me money, because that is something that shows that you will definitely get it back. That is a promise you have to keep, of course, right? There is no collateral here. So, based on the revenue, they will be like, okay, if you make revenue, that means that you're capable of even doing 1,000 rupees revenue after taking my money. You can utilize it the right way. So that is one area. Along with which, there are other types of investments and raising amounts that you can get into. That could be amounts like something like what we call grants, right? So what is a grant? Anybody who knows what a grant is? I would even urge faculties also just to try your luck with this. Yes. So a grant is where an individual or somebody gives you an amount without asking anything from you. It is like a goodwill that you're doing a good job. Here is an amount for you. That is called a grant. A grant is when you just give money to somebody. They don't expect anything in return. You have heard of something called research grants. You have heard of something called scholar grants. Scholarships, by the way, is a grant. Scholarship is not telling you that, hey, you have to promise me that you're doing something. See, those are called condition-based scholarships. But here, the equivalent of a scholarship in the startup world is a grant, startup grant. And if there is a condition, it is called a equity-based grant. They take some part of the company or some condition they give you that, hey, you have to make a minimum of this much revenue. And that is how you will be able to stick on and get this amount. So that is grant. So just to run you back through all of the different types that we've talked about so far, we have talked about bootstrapping, which is where you use your own funding and amount. We have talked about angel investors. Angel investors are those who give you money for some percent of equity. Check sizes. Check size means amount that they're ready to give you. Is anywhere from 50 lakhs to crores. VCs or venture capitals are people who will help you from 2 crores and onwards, and they usually take equity which is from anywhere from 10 and onwards, 10 to 25% of the company. Then there is revenue-based investments where they look at your revenue, which is their form of, I trust that you can get me my money back if I'm investing in you. And yes, on and on and on. And finally, grant, of course, right? So I think we have largely gone over what an angel investor is. So for anybody who just wants to take any notes, feel free to. And an angel investor, one more thing to notice is that an angel investor's biggest bet on you is that you have a certain amount of quality that you have in you, which is the basis of which they will put an investment. So after this slide, we will understand about how does an angel investor choose to invest in you, and then we have an activity for that. Yeah, just keep one more. Yeah. All right then. Now we're going to get into a very interesting part of how do an investor evaluate you or investment. These are the broad metrics on the basis of which they consider investing in you. Let's run them over, right? Founder market fit. What does a founder market fit mean? You're the founder. There is the market that you're going to launch the product in. Are you even the right person to build it? That's a very big question. An investor all the time will always ask you, let's say for example, you're building an app, but your, let's say, commerce students, for example, your skill sets do not match. You're good in accountancy and trading and other forms of business. But when it comes to this particular hard skill, they will question you that your background does not tell me that you may know it. Prove me wrong. Do you know it? You can prove that you have the skill to build in a space that is largely different. It will work. Let's take another example. Let's say that you want to be building rockets, but you're a marine engineer. Where is rocket? Where is marine engineer? So, big question. Even if you're passionate about a solution, are you ready to even solve the solution in the first place? That is question number 1. 2 is team strength. Let's say you are not even somebody who knows that area. I'll take a very famous example of Elon Musk, right? How many of you know Elon Musk over here? Just raise your hands. Obviously, right? See, people know him because he has done the impossible. And let me tell you some part of the impossible story that he has solved. Elon Musk has built companies without even being in the same field. Let me give you an example. He built spacecrafts but does not know a speck of knowledge that pertains to aeronautical engineering or to aerodynamics or any part that one person should know about building a rocket. So what he did was, he went out of his way, he flew down to Russia. And in Russia, he had a conversation with Russian aeronautical engineers and told them that, hi, please teach me how to build a rocket. They laughed at him, saying that, why would somebody consider building a rocket like you at this age, at this time? He got furious, but then in a matter of 1.5 to 2 years, he learned everything and anything possible to build a rocket. And he actually built one, and he outpaced NASA, the space agency for the US. So, truth is that sometimes you may not even have the skill, but you can actually solve it just by trying to learn and trying to be accustomed to it. A fair tip for anybody who wants to solve in a market where you don't have the expertise, don't have to learn the technical aspects of it. Just know that today, let's give you an example. You want to build an app, but you're not a coder. You don't know how to build an app. But what you can do is you can hire somebody or ask a friend who can build an app and let them be part of your team. What your job should be is not to learn how to build the app with him or her, but how do you manage somebody who knows how to build something you don't. So for that, you just have to learn about the different terminologies, learn about the concepts, but not how to execute. Theory is all you need to know, not the execution part. And that is more than enough for you to be a leader. To lead a team where you don't even have the expertise that your team has more than you. It is widely possible. Third would be market size. Now remember, let me give you a quick example. Okay, in this university, you must have a canteen spot, right? There are canteen spots around the university. Okay, let's take an example. If there is a canteen spot, and let's say you have an innovative idea, let's make the Zomato, but for college canteen. So I can be in class, and when I get this small break, I can put an order of takeaway where I can just quickly come, my order is ready and kept in a bag, just take it and I go back to class. Or I can place an order during my break and the food actually arrives to me right when my lunch period begins. It's definitely something very different. It's a good idea. But the question is, think about the market. Today, first thing is you need to understand how big is it. If you are doing it only for your university, the market amount, the size that you're dealing with is small. It's a small little pie. It's a very little amount. But if you said that you are doing this solution for multiple universities, the market is bigger now. For the whole south part of India, even bigger. For the world, huge. So when you're building some solution, try to see that your solution is addressing a market where you're happy with the amount that can come back to you. Because bigger the market, bigger the amount will come to you. It's usually how they say. When you go to a big company, your salary is good. You go to a smaller company, your salary is small. Why? Even though the same role is there, still there's an engineering role here, there's still an engineering role there. But why does the salary differ? That's because the amount that they receive in the company as a whole is bigger than the other. One is smaller, one is larger. Same way, every solution has to consider the market. How big should your market be that you're addressing? If your app is only meant for this university, your amount also will be limited to how much this university can provide you as a revenue. Do it for multiple. Then comes traction or proof, which I mentioned earlier. Traction again is all about trying to tell an investor that I have legitimacy. Somebody actually cares about what I'm building. It could be purchase orders, as I mentioned. Purchase orders again, just to refresh, would be when somebody gives you a signed paper or some kind of a confirmation that when your product is, whenever you're ready to sell it to me in the future time, I will definitely take it. They probably pay you now, they just take it later. So these are that letters of intents or LOI. Intent, as we need it, is I need to, I'm interested. So letter of intent means that same thing. I am interested in you. LOI, it could be paying customers, multiple. And then comes unfair advantage. Now, if you're building something for the first time, kudos to you. You have actually disrupted the market even without realizing it, right? Build something new from the scratch, and you have a huge advantage. Now, remember, startups are not necessarily something where you're building something for the first time all the time. There are startups. Let's take an example of Ola. Ola was inspired by a larger conglomerate, Uber. Just because Uber existed doesn't mean that Ola is no longer a startup. A startup by definition, you can note it down if you wish to. A startup by definition, as given by the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, says that any company which is below the age of 10 years since its establishment is considered a startup. The startup is nothing but the early formative years of a company. So anybody who's building a company for the first time can be considered a startup. Startup is just a classification. Startup is not where it means it is a new idea all the time. That is one aspect to also consider. So we're going to have a very quick little game, and I want each one of you to partake in this. It's a very simple little case, right? So I want you to just glance at this, right? These are the 5 metrics on the basis of which you will evaluate. Take a note if you need to, because using these 5 elements, we are going to go case by case. Should you really invest in them? Are all of you ready? If you're ready, then let's get started. See, let's treat this like something that I'm not here to come and give you just knowledge. I'm also here to make you an investor without you realizing it. You'll thank yourself later. Give it a shot. Let's go case 1. Case 1 talks about 5 different aspects, right? I'll just read it out for you. And then I want to see a couple of hands who want to just give your opinion whether you would invest or not. So those who want to invest, raise your hands up. Those who think that it's not worth investing, raise your hands up. For the side which is maximum, hands raised, I'll probably pick out someone to tell what is your reasoning, why do you think they are not ready right now. And it's not going to be judged, just to understand what's on the back of your head, right? That's it. So the problem in this company, so this company is called Green Leaf Packaging, right? The problem is that farms around Tamil Nadu burn or dump tons of sugarcane lagages every season, while local businesses still rely heavily on single-use plastic packaging. That is the problem. The solution that the company has built is that a manufacturing process that converts sugarcane bagages into composable food and retail packaging and priced close to plastic alternatives, right? The team is a solo founder, a third year mechanical engineering student with a strong product prototype but no co-founder or hiring plan yet. Traction so far is he won the first place at college hackathon, no paying customers yet, and no pilot order confirmed with any business. A pilot order is basically a first customer, just to let you know. The ask is that 8 lakh rupees for a pilot production line. That means for making sure he gets his first paid product, paid customer, he needs some amount to get the product a little more ready. So now the question is, would you invest in this startup or not? So take 10 seconds to just consolidate your ideas, run through the metric earlier. Do you think they are investable or not?
Guys, if you have any question, ask in your comfortable language, we will convey to the guest.
Okay. Those in favor of investing in this startup, raise your hands. Remember, investment is something subjective. If you think that the person over here, whatever they're building, is worth investing in, just raise your hand. If they're not worth investing, then then you raise your hand as well to show that you have an opinion towards. Anybody who thinks that they can be investable. Remember, investment is all about whether you think I would, put some money in them or not. They're doing a good job. Just focus on the problem and the solution.
It's not visible.
What is your opinion?
Sorry, the solution is not visible.
Not visible, is it? Okay. I'll just read out the problem and solution alone. Just tell me how much do you, think that they're investable or not. See, the farms in Tamil Nadu, basically they have sugarcane. The biggest problem is sugarcane is being dumped. Nobody is using sugarcane after extracting the sugarcane juice. What the solution that the person has done is that they have created bags out of it. Use the fiber of the sugarcane to create some sort of a packaging bag. Do you think it is investable? If you think, just raise your hand in favor of investing.
Cooling in the
Cycle would be, it's biodegradable, so it could be anywhere from 1 to 3 years. Maximum of 3 years before it starts seeking out. Anybody wants to ask any questions in regards to this particular? Because these are startups I've met with personally.
There is already something like this, like people make plates out of banana, something like that. So it's
Yes.
made, so what is new in that?
Here we're making a bag out of it, like a carry bag. That's the only difference. So just a carry bag. So final verdict before we move on to the next case is that do you think that it's investable? Investable? Do you guys think it's investable? No. In the backwards, investable or not? Very simple. They have sugarcane is getting wasted, the fiber of the sugarcane after extracting the juice. So instead of having it thrown away, they are making bags out of it, carry bags out of it. Investable or not? Okay. What do you guys say? Investable? So largely it's investable. So If anybody wants to tell why do you think it's investable, maybe just one individual who can just tell why you think it's investable, there is a future in this. Just say that and then we move on to the next case.
I invest in this product because using of plastic bags is giving hazards to nature. So if we switch to eco-friendly bags, it will easy for nature. So as an investor, I will invest in those ideas.
Thank you so much. See, again, it's all opinions that you have. That is all we need to hear. That's it. What he mentioned is very true. Today, there are organizations that profess about the SDG goals. Have you, any of you over here know what the SDG goals are? Exactly. SDG goals, there are 17 SDG goals that all look towards different aspects of upliftment of life. It could be wealth, it could be from poverty relief to health relief to, sustainability for the environment, many different things. So it is very SDG friendly, and whether I have invested in them, I have invested in them. Okay, this is another very interesting case that I've met with. Let me just explain the problem and the solution. Okay, gig workers. Basically, I hope you all know what are gig workers, right? Gig workers are individuals who basically do jobs on a day-to-day basis. So it could be a Rapido, somebody riding a Rapido, somebody who is delivering food through Zomato. Gig workers are day-to-day earners, basically. Best way to put it. So these gig workers on a delivery platform, let's say like the Zomato platform, often have to wait 7 to 15 days to receive their earnings. They are probably earned on a Monday, they're getting their money on the following week. And it's creating a very big stress for the individual, right? The solution is that let's get an instant payout system. Instead of 7 to 10 days for them to get their money, they're getting it instantly. Every ride completed for a Rapido, they're getting the money instantly. Every food delivered, they're getting it instantly. That is the solution. And it's directly partnering with companies who are releasing these amounts in real time. That means instantly. So the question now is, just think on it for 10 seconds and voice out whether it is investable or not. And what is your reason, right? You guys are ready? Okay, let's go section by section. How do you guys, is it an investable solution? Again, remember, so these gig workers, these day-to-day individuals who are working, they are not getting the payment instantly. They are getting it 7 to 10 days later. Do you think the solution of instant payment receiving should be something to invest in? Investable or not investable? Investable or not investable? Investable. What about you guys? See, there are many different angles to it. they're investable, that's because you're trusting on the solution. Not investable means that maybe there is something that is already competing, something that is giving, that maybe could exist. Some things like these also can influence your decisions. What do you guys say? Not investable, investable, not investable, not investable. Can you just tell why it's not investable?
Already, already it's happening. That's
Just a big round of applause. See, that's the thing, guys. Just because an idea sounds good doesn't mean that you should invest in it right off the bat. Think about it. People are getting paid instantly. There is no such problem that exists. That means that such a problem, when it has been investable, somebody is already definitely invested. That's why gig workers are increasing. If you're telling me that Rapido drivers are not increasing, then that's definitely something to worry about. But they're just increasing more and more. Everybody's getting employed. The rate may be slow, maybe there is some trouble, but this is not the reason for the trouble. Payments are coming instantly. So to this, I have not invested. Finally, last case, and then we move on, which is a campus carpool. Now, how many of you travel to the campus from outside? From outside? Hands up if you're coming from outside. Don't be shy, guys. You're just coming from outside, not coming from another planet. That's fine. Okay, most of you are hostelers, is it? Hostelers? My goodness, okay. Okay, no worries. The concept of carpooling was started in way back in the European and Americans, basically. Carpooling is nothing but going together with strangers to the same location. It's like basically your share autos. But let's say on a little more dignified, maybe a car this time. So that's basically what carpooling is. So talking about the dignified movement, let's understand that there is something called a campus carpool. Anyways, so the problem here is parking is limited and daily commute is very costly for the students, right? Who are especially coming from outside of the campus. So the solution is that a mobile app that basically tells students that, hey, I'm also going to campus. There is a car that goes every time at 9 o'clock in the morning, reaching my campus. There are 2-3 slots available. If you're in the same road on the way, you can just book on the app that, hey, I need a spot in the car that goes to the campus. Do you think this is investable or not? Or investable? Why do you think so? Let's say it's small. What do you miss? Investable or not investable? What is already existing? Fantastic. So you say not investable.
Aditya?
It's whether you possibly want to ever put your money in the Any of you thinks
Yeah,
that
he has
is
some.
investment?
He has an idea.
Simple WhatsApp group and do this.
Is it? Oh, man. Okay. Do you think it's investable or not? Can you explain why?
Simple WhatsApp group and do this.
So not an app and all is not required. That's a very good thought. Big clap. Okay. How many of you guys know Zepto? Zepto? Zepto was founded by two 19-year-olds. They were students like yourself. These two 19-year-olds, when they thought about it, obviously the 19 and they're just college students, they had no money. Let alone how will they finance, how will they actually invest or create an app to begin with? It's a lakhs and lakhs of rupees for an app. So they started Zepto in a WhatsApp group. Urban Company. Have you heard of Urban Company? Urban Club? They started in a WhatsApp group. Same way, companies start with WhatsApp groups before many of them, before even going and starting an app, because money is less required. So my question to this individual was, I love your idea. You know, you need a student, probably a student-focused one. There is a big market. A lot of people will pay you. But my question is that the reason you need your money is just to create the app in the first place, not to strategically, connect with different areas. That's where the issue begins. So even if an idea is good, sometimes elements like frugality or what we call jugaad. In India, we have a word called jugaad, which is used many places in this country, which indicates of using very little resources to create a big, massive change. And that, my friend, is basically what Indian founders are known for all around the world. So this is somebody who I did not invest in. Okay. So we'll just come back to this particular area, right? So I don't think it's visible, so I'll just go over it. There are multiple types of investment rounds. Now let's understand this. In a startup, what happens is that you have many startup stages: idea, prototype, ready for the market. That means finished prototype. Then comes early revenue. Then comes good revenue. Then comes scaling across markets or exiting. You may not necessarily close the company. Sell your part of the company that you are owning and move out of it. No problem. So the question here is VC funding, or also known as investment funding. What are the different levels? So we understood startup stages: idea, MVP, finished product, early revenue, scaling, exit. What about investment stages? There are stages which are called pre-seed. You can make a note if you want. Just say pre-seed, seed, pre-series, series, and seed. Let's say after which it's the repetition, right? It's series. We call it A, B, C, D, E, F. There are many alphabets. And then there's something called a bridge round. Let's understand them one by one. What is a pre-seed? Okay, let's talk in very normal terms. What is a seed in a plant? It's again, a plant seed is the small little particle that you're putting in the soil. It grows off one nice tree, right? That is what a seed indicates, right? In the nature of life. Money is also indicated in the same language. Seed money or seed investment is when the money comes into you and you're like, yes, I am raising this amount because I want to finish my prototype. I want to finish the product I just started building. Like it's just in the initial stages. I want to get a couple of lakhs, couple of thousands, couple of crores. I'll be able to finish my product. That is where seed money comes. What is pre-seed? If seed itself is the beginning, what is pre-seed then? That is before seed. Pre-seed is, let's say you're just having an idea. Just an idea and you want to go and raise amount. That is called pre-seed amount. So pre-seed, then comes seed amount. Then what is this series A? Series is where an individual now has a finished product and they are saying that now I want to scale across different states of India. Let's say you started in Tamil Nadu, now you want to do it across some part of India. So the name series means series, one by one, a sequence. So series A, let's say you are raising amount, you're getting some investment amount. That amount will be used for covering whole of South India. Series B, you get central part of India. Series C, all of India. Series D, all of the world. And as many series you can go for, no problem in that. There is a situation sometimes where you take a seed amount, whatever amount you want, either pre-seed or a seed amount or whatever. But unfortunately, it was not enough. You asked for an amount, but it was lesser than what you needed. Then that, or to cover up that, you call it a bridge. A bridge is basically, again, bridge is between one to another, right? In construction, a bridge is basically covering one land to another. Same way, the bridge is that in between part where, let's say in the pre-seed, let's say pre-seed to seed, right? There is this two stages. Pre-seed stage, you're like, buddy, I need 1 lakh rupees. Actually, you needed 2 lakh and you forgot to, let's say, conveniently, you could not remember that if you needed 2 lakh, it was, but you asked for 1 lakh. So you need another 1 lakh to get that 2 lakh amount. You do a bridge raise. You ask investors, hey, I need a bridge amount of 1 lakh to reach my next stage. That's called a bridge. So just to summarize, pre-seed is when you just barely have an idea and you're trying to get an amount to start with. Seed amount is when you have a basic prototype and you want to complete the prototype and make it a full-blown product. A series A is basically when now it's all about scaling across multiple regions around you. And again, series A, B, C, D, whatever, would be one by one stages of as much as amount you want to just get after that. A bridge amount is basically what leftover amount you feel that you should have asked for, you raise it during that time. That is all that it is. Okay, so after this, we do have another activity, but this one will be easier and will be a little more fun also, right? So, pitching strategy. How many of you are actually thinking on an idea? Just want to refresh it. If you have an idea in mind, just raise your hands. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for your idea right now. You have an idea? Have an idea? Hands higher, please. Idea? Idea? Good, really nice. How do you answer I need to get that amount? See, we have learned about the investment. How does an investor think about what you are trying to ask them for the amount? What we try to understand is, if that is the case, then how should you, what is your side of the story? How do you tell them in the right way? See, pitching is all about telling them, right? That what do you, this is my solution, this is my traction, this is the amount I want, and how do I want to use that amount? Only these 5 things. If you want to make any notes, you can take it now. Again, it's all about what is your problem, what is your solution, problem, solution, right? What is your traction? What is your investment amount that you want to get from them? And how do you want to use their amount?